to heroes, to warriors, to legends. Welcome to the stage. Tyler and Dave Jones.
Hello, Amelia. Hello, Dave. Welcome to the session Q&A. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who were there yesterday, they will remember that one of the first questions I asked was, can you name 3 famous Belgians? I'm pretty sure you both studied very hard, and since there's 2 of you, can you name 6 famous Belgians?
Do you want me to go first? You? I didn't do my homework in a shocking turn for somebody with ADHD, and so I decided to go out and see a beautiful city. Sorry to disappoint, but the cocktails were great.
You're excused. So 6 names from you, Dave, please.
Okay, Dougal. That's as far as I went. I only had 2 drinks.
So this is not the AA, it's facts actually.
I mean, we can fire the question back to you if you want, and I can ask you for 6 famous people from Warwickshire, but I think that's going to go equally well.
Are there 6 people living there is the first one? Alright, so both of you are obviously voice actors, and one of the things, please, Dave, meet Amelia, meet Dave. But one of the strange things that you both worked on a little indie game named Folder, Baldur's Gate, what have you. And one of the things I think people don't realize is you never met during the making of the game. Because when you look at a series or a movie, obviously people act with each other and so they know. But you both recorded your lines during your work, and then it's in the game or afterwards or the release party you actually met. So how is it to be doing lines without having somebody, you're responding to somebody who isn't there?
I mean, we were very different characters as well in that respect. I was responding to the player character or other characters. Their lines were said by the director in the session at the time, just so we have something to react to. And thank God for the directors, because they were telling us exactly where we were in the game as well, what was happening, what was around us. Because basically it was a very blank room that we were in. And so, responding to a line and having to imagine everything as well, it's very different, extremely different to what you did.
Yeah, I was essentially the creepy voice in your ear. So the most complicated thing for me, I think, was digging down into which version of your narrator was this. Because for every different character you can play, you have a slightly different narrator, and some of them are kind of similar, and some of them are dark urge, which is a bit more feral. But they all had to technically tie together, so there was the basic read that could work for anyone. But then the other lines that were specific to your playstyle had to come off that. So making it work technically was the hardest thing, I think.
Got you. And when you met each other, did the faces match what you thought the voice would be like? Or is it oh, Dave, that's how you look?
Yeah, mine will look very different to be honest. Thankfully, we actually knew each other beforehand. Not too long beforehand, but yeah, we did actually know each other. But there were other people that I hadn't actually met before. I hadn't met Theo, Tim. I hadn't met Tim at all during production. I've met Jen, Neil, Emma, just basically Sam. Just like ships that pass in the night. We were recording in 3 studios in East Croydon, and basically when we're on a break, we'll just come out, still fully in like lycra and Velcro, markered up. Yeah, that's normal. Just sitting at a table drinking a coffee. It's really not flattering.
It's like meeting somebody for the first time just completely naked, but everybody's pretending it's not happening.
Oh, you're Jewish. So it was very, it was very eye-opening for some people when we were first meeting each other. But basically, the first time we properly all got together was a con just after the game came out, EGX, in October 23, and we haven't been together since.
Yeah, for me, I'd known Jennifer English for a fair bit. We played mother and daughter in a little indie game a while back, and we actually got to record in the same booth, which is cool. Sam and I, we'd known each other for years at that point. I knew Neil. I think that was everybody. Everybody else was me.
And do you ever record lines together in games? You know, you're all sitting in the same booth, or is it always separate? Just
I recorded from home. I was in my home studio. I didn't see anyone. It was very isolating. It's nice seeing
Yeah, but the
faces.
commute's nice.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like 4.5 hours. So.
And they give you weird looks if you're in your pajamas.
Yeah, especially when you rock up and he's growing, it's not fun. But yeah.
no. So Dave, yesterday you explained that before doing voice acting, you had 20 years as a banker in the banking world. You, I believe, started straight away with voice acting, or did you have a
I've been doing this since I was 5.
So, do you think it leads to a different approach? You having had a brackets normal job before, and you being born in the pits of voice acting, or does it make no difference?
I think it's different for everybody. Like whether you've gone to drama school, like I didn't go to drama school. I did some drama school training, but I think it's especially acting the way it is now. People want you to be authentically you, what you bring to the table, and that brings everything that you've done in your life up to that point. So one of the biggest things that's affected mine is my psychology degree. Like that helps me dig down into the minds of the character and make a villain or any character I play slightly more complicated than what's on paper. Like I think like they think.
Okay. And did you bring any of your banking experience into your voice?
You can count lines so well.
I can filter the Excel sheets. That's not great. Basically, I was in a job where I was not creatively stifled. I mean, I absolutely loved the job, and it was great. The team was fantastic as well. But it could have been quite soul destroying some days. Just basically like working there all day. You got an Excel spreadsheet in front of you, banking, and then go to do the fun stuff, and you still got an Excel spreadsheet in front of you. So yeah, it is like a bit of a busman's holiday sometimes. But yeah, it's much more creatively freeing with a microphone in front of you instead of a Teams meeting.
So no return to the banking world for you?
Not know that I've really criticised it so bad for being creatively stifling. No, probably not. It might not be back.
Alright, so yesterday, Dave, you told us a very interesting anecdote about your neighbors recognizing you from a certain body part. I'm sure people would love to hear it again.
I missed this story.
Yes, so see, Amelia missed it, so we need to hear it again.
I was in Aldi, a local supermarket, and my neighbours down the street, because they didn't really know that I did acting, like screen acting as well, and they'd seen me the previous evening on the TV, and that was that would have been the episode where my arse cheeks were very much on display, and I'm just glad that when they tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Were you on telly last night?" that they.
I love that they know you well enough to ask.
Yeah, and so I was just really glad they recognised this and not this.
You assume.
Yeah, that's a very heavy assumption.
Is that right, Dave?
So I was wondering, do you have a similarly interesting anecdote to tell?
No, I've resisted all attempts to get me naked.
Okay.
Not anything like that, no. No, I think that's a Dave thing.
It's very much a Dave thing. Yeah. Anything for the lols.
Yeah, and talking about embarrassing anecdotes, sorry to go back to you, Dave.
Thanks. I'm a treasure trove of embarrassing.
I heard something, and I really don't know what it is, but I heard something about your character and a bear and love making stuff or what have you.
That's for them. That's not for me.
Okay. Which brings me to Baldur's Gate. Obviously, I'll be honest, I've never played the game. Sorry. So pitch it to me. Why should I get
You get to pick how the story goes. You get to pick who you are and the choices they make, and the rest of the adventure is done for you. So if you want to be super, super evil, if you want to be the goodest goody paladin, if you want to be a cleric, if you want to be a thief and steal everybody's stuff, if you want to murder people in weird and unconventional ways, whatever you want to do with your life, this is the game for you.
You have complete agency. And there is a myriad of representation as well. So you can be whoever you want to be and do practically whatever you want to do.
So it's
Just bargain on a large amount of time for character creation. That's all.
Yeah.
So it's actually live, but without real life consequences for certain choices.
Yeah, and it's been very much like that for people exploring like gender identity, sexuality, like all that side of things. It's a consequence-free environment to try stuff out and see if you like it.
There have been so many stories come to the tables where people have been awakened by the game, and it's incredibly affirming. Really.
Yeah, and not just that. If you've ever wanted to play D&D and you're not sure about the rule set, or you just want to try something out and not rely on that character that you might be curious about, that haven't tried before for a full campaign, and you just want to learn the mechanics, it's a really good way to teach you the mechanics so you can play at it.
Yeah, and the strange thing for older people like me who've been playing video games for a long time is you didn't have that richness of choice. You know, you had, in the old games it was one set, you could be, the best of worlds, you could choose between being good or bad, but it was a set out path. So this, and how do you, because if you can make so many choices, there's so many bits of dialogue that have to be imagined that if I'm choosing to be a woman who's going to be evil, who's going to murder the king, well, there must be a line of dialogue that fits that. So do you then get like the Excel sheet with 100 variations of I hate you king, I hate you cleric, I hate you nun?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And imagine all those options, but then there are like, I forget how many versions of the narrator there are now, like 15, 17, something like that. All of those that many times for each of those endings.
And you need to voice the dying sounds of
Yes. I lose count of how many times I've been pushed off a cliff whilst on fire and dying for either 2, 3 or 5 seconds. There's so many differences, permutations. They are all done right at the end of the session, just so because your voice will inevitably suffer some
Falling from a height and being on fire hurts. If you've ever played any game where there's like tiny bit characters in the background on fire or dying, that's an actor in a booth just going, everything hurts.
and as your character as well, so that's like very different.
That particular way of screaming.
Yeah, that's the anecdote we talked about yesterday on the Graham Norton show with Tom Hanks, who voices Woody in Toy Story, and then final day it goes, all the times Woody falls off the stairs like, and then that his diaphragm is just tired because he's like, you have to make those noises. So,
I mean, Tom Hanks is very weak.
Oh, this is going to end up on TikTok.
Dave, if I were you, I would reapply to the bank. I think you just killed your career.
I am now essentially unemployable. many different functions, yeah.
But did you have a day, or many days, where you got home and you would have,
we were very well looked after in that respect. If you felt your voice maybe giving out slightly, you just essentially, right, time out for a bit, go off and hydrate. Just making sure you're hydrated first is basically like key in cases like that anyway. So vocal health is at the top of everybody's priority list. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's part of the difference between a layman and a professional. Like, you spend a lot of time getting to know what you can do physically and what works for you cure-wise if things start to get rough, like what the warning signs early on are. And not making choices that might mess your voice up when you're first like coming up with a voice for a character. Because this might sound really fun, but not 4 hours later.
So what you're saying, Amelia, is you don't smoke and you don't drink?
What do you
Sure.
Dave, you don't drink either, I believe.
No, that sort of thing is completely beyond my comprehension.
We're both very good, nice people who
Yes.
never do anything wrong.
Always.
No, but in a way, your main asset is your voice. So, I mean, for example, if friends, you have a meeting and they go like, a little sick, you go like, still.
Yeah. Oh, no. I still mask up on planes, in airports, in supermarkets. Like, I can't risk that.
Yeah.
Because people are very inconsiderate. If you're ever going to a convention and you've had the flu, or COVID, or a cold, please don't come and see us. You're ruining our lives.
That's
Genuinely. Yeah, like microphones pick up everything. So if you're congested, if you've even had milk in your coffee that morning,
No way.
it will pick up on that, and then an engineer has to go through by hand and take out all the clicky noises, or you might just not be able to get through the session.
Or you have a milk allergy you never found out.
I mean, that's a different problem.
a very different food.
You're just going to hope that you're not sharing the food at that point.
But honestly, milk in your coffee will actually alter your voice to
Dairy is really bad for the mucus situation.
Yeah.
Mucus situation when you death metal fan.
It can thicken the mucus and therefore make a lot more of the. Yeah, it's very bad.
It's gross. Being a voice actor is gross.
This is turning out to be one of the weirder Q&As we have. Which is good. So, what do you do to actually, besides not drinking and smoking, but what do you do to actually take good care of your voice? Do you go to bed early? Do you drink tea with honey? Or
Number one, hydrate. Just water, drink not as much as you can. It's just making sure that everything is lubricated. Basically, thank you.
the slow clap.
Yes.
Yes, lube. Dave's life in a nutshell. Hey.
No, essentially it makes sure that, again, very technical and potentially gross, makes sure that the vocal folds are plump and that they can actually like bang together with the least resistance.
You're making it worse.
No.
What industry are you in again?
Great question. But yeah, like the inside of your throat is a very delicate series of tissues and weird folds, and if you force air past it for long enough, it's just going to ruin that tissue. So you have to know how to project properly without wrecking it. You have to know what your warning signs are, and water helps that situation so you can do that for longer. That's actually the only situation where I will have dairy. I'll have like a really thick milkshake if I'm doing a screaming session. So I actually end up screaming the milkshake, if that makes sense.
But there's, again, the voice actors or people who work with voice. There's not many people outside that industry that would know about pharyngeal education, basically making sure that there to there is knowing what you're capable of, knowing what's there and what not to do. Yeah, that is absolutely 100% key.
All right, and one final question from me before we take some questions from the crowd. Has there ever been a line where you went to, I'm not saying that. Have you ever refused to do a line?
Yeah. Yeah, I've refused a whole character. I was cast as a character, and I got into the recording session. It was me and the production company and another actor even. And they went, "Hey, do you want to see what your character looks like?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And I bring it up, and that's a black woman. That should be a role for somebody who's not really white. Like, I'm super white. That should be somebody who represents that community, no? And I had to turn the whole.
And you just said sorry.
Yeah, I walked away from that. Because we're in a position where we should be helping people be represented in video games, and that means losing something, right? It's very easy to say you're an ally for something when it doesn't cost you anything.
And that's how Dave voiced the first black woman. But
I have no qualms about it. Yeah, just give it money.
oh, the banker is back. Yeah, just give it money. So did you ever refuse something, Dave?
There more than likely has been a few lines where I remember for Holson there were a couple of lines that there's no way Holson would say that, and turns out they'd actually assigned the wrong name to that line. So yeah, they were basically, the hunch was correct, they were for somebody else. But yeah, thankfully I've not really come across that many instances where I've had to refuse to do stuff like that.
Alright. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's your time to shine. There's two microphones, one on the left, one on the right. Yes, a raving man can't. And there's a few ground rules. English only, one question per person. Try to ask the same question to both these wonderful people. Don't ask for free hugs, autographs, kisses, or what have you. And take it away.
Hello. Hi. Hey. So, little backstory for my question. I've been playing RPGs since I was 6, and as a child, I didn't understand how you can carry so much stuff and not have a backpack or anything like that. So I was wondering if Halson had a bag, what would it be? And for Amelia, who is the best romance option for Dark Urge?
Holson has a large furry pocket. Sorry?
It's a prison thing.
We all have magic bags anyway. They are the pockets there. Yeah, this is like, oh my god. There's an acrid smell with that as well. It's like something's actually burning.
You're taking my role now. You can narrate the smoke.
That's a guess from last year, we're burning now. So.
I like it.
Funky.
Funky. My granddad.
Easy. I'm right. So yeah, so what bag would it be? I think he's very happy to just stick it in the back pocket that everybody sticks. Oh my god.
That's all we have
I
time.
did warn you. You can't predict how this is going to go.
I'm done. Sorry. Yeah, that's it.
Over to you, Amelia, save us.
I would say firstly, pockets of holding. That'd be great when they're just
That's
in
what
real
Amelia
life.
said to me as well.
Yeah, that's what I want. Who's the best romance option for Dark Urge? I think therapy is the best romance option for Dark Urge. It's like a lot of therapy. Whichever option that is.
I've not seen them, but I've heard Minthara is
That's a really, really sweet one.
Yeah.
But they do kind of make each other worse for a bit. So it depends whether you want to lean into it or not.
Yeah.
Is it a fix me situation?
Or an enabler.
If you're enabling, yeah, thorough.
Maybe I'm a bit of a believer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey,
Hi.
I'm Gio. First of all, Dave, I think I saw you yesterday in Comic Sans. I hope you enjoyed your time there.
Hence the duvel, yes.
Yes. And actually, because of yesterday, I managed to make my own question because I was struggling and I wanted to ask something to Amelia. And thanks to my experience yesterday singing, I realized that I'm not good with my tone of my voice. But I'm a DM that's been 10 years already. And actually, I'm very inspired by you. And my question is actually to you, speaking about searching and taking care of your voice and techniques. I struggle making multiple voices for multiple characters, make them unique. And listening to you during the game, I see that making your choices, you have different intonations and ways to do that. Do you have any kind of tips or anything, like how can I impersonate multiple characters better?
I am the wrong person to ask that question for, because I've got like 3 voices, and then most of them sound like
It's a great voice.
thank you. But it is very clearly me a lot of the time. And I think that's what I enjoyed about this role so much, that it wasn't relying on an accent, it was emotional versatility. If you can think like a character, everything changes. The way they hold themselves, the way they breathe, the pauses that they will put into different places. So I would say dig down into the psychology. That's what I always love doing. And trust that that will be reflected in how you sound. Don't listen too much to how you sound.
And by psychology, you mean literally trying to enter in the mind? Or?
Yeah, like think about what makes them excited, what makes them sad, what they're frightened of. When they're saying something, why are they saying it? Are they saying exactly what they're saying, or is there a hidden meaning under there that they're hiding? The more you can think like a character, the more alive that feels, and the easier it is to roleplay like them.
Okay. Thank you so much, and congratulations for your Celeste part. I'm really
Thank
excited.
you. I'm so excited about that.
So good luck with everything. Cheers.
Hi. Oh my god, hi! Hi! I have a bit of a silly questions for you guys. If you had to read, like, the most boring book you can think of, like very specific medical stuff, the dishwasher instruction manual, and you can have anyone from the Baldur's Gate 3 cast read it for you, who would you pick?
The History of the Wankel Votary Engine, read by Tim Downey.
Seems a good choice, yeah?
Emma Gregory reading literally anything ever. Like, I could listen to her all day. She's like a soothing headstrong.
Thank you very much.
Hi.
Hello, hi. So I have a question. Me and my girlfriend over there play Baldur's Gate almost every evening. I think we're in our 7th or 8th run of the whole new story. So thank you for creating or help creating an amazing game. And my question was to Amelia, because we really love your voice as a narrator, which is just flawless and perfect for the game. My question is, if you think about something, like if you're doing groceries or something, you're thinking like, should I buy this or that? Do you use the narrator's voice, or like, how does it work?
I don't hear voices in my head. That's a sentence I just said in public, isn't it? Yeah, I don't hear anything like that, and I always thought that was normal until I talked to some other people about it, and they were like, no, we have this thing called an internal monologue. I don't have one of those. I think it's part of my aphantasia. So if you describe something to me, I can't see it in my head, but I don't hear anything either. To be present in the moment, I have to kind of have dead silence and just focus on one thing like a lunatic. So yeah, I just feel stuff. I don't know how to answer that.
Well, that sounds incredibly freeing to have. For me, if
Yes,
I'm trying to read something, I'm just constantly listening. I'm like, okay, no, you fucked that up. No, okay, and I stop.
I would rather hear it than feel it. If it's like you fucked that up. What's worse, hearing that voice or just being like, I hate myself now.
Honestly, it's not great either. Yeah, do not recommend.
Thank you very much for the question. Have a nice rest of your day.
Likewise.
Hello. Hi. When you're preparing for the role and you're about to record the voices,
there are different things in the game that happen that make your character interact differently. How do you prepare for that? So, for instance, you also said the narrator has like 17 paths or something. Do you have them worked out before you start recording, or do you start recording, play with it, and then find them? And the same with Helsen, of course, he also interacts differently when things happen. How do you prepare for that?
You know that internal monologue? It was replaying stuff from the previous conversation during the first half of your question, and I completely lost it. Yeah.
How do you prepare for your role? Do you prepare for all the different scenarios that Helsen is going to go through and the differences in how you react to that? Or do you just play along with it and get to find that details of your role within working into your role?
With the situations that you're in, and like I said, it was like an Excel spreadsheet, we get a brief description of what's happening, we get the lines previous to it, and then we get our lines as well. We're heavily reliant on the director. So I'll have the script a couple of days before to look through, just to see what's what, if there's anything potentially energetic that I need to look out for, I'll put that to the end of the session, etc. But as far as the actual preparation for the session and the preparation for what's going to happen, I will make sure that the director is keeping me in check as to what's happening. What's happening around me, what's just happened, what I'm potentially wanting to happen. So yeah, it is not in the moment, but as near as really.
I didn't know prep for any of my sessions. I don't like to do that, especially when I'm doing narration. I like to keep it very, very fresh. So I sight read the whole game. But again, it comes down to like really good cooperation and collaboration with the director. And we didn't know the story of the game when we started. Nobody did. It hadn't been finished yet. So it was evolving over time. I think it makes you very emotionally versatile, just being able to hop back and forth. But a lot of the times, certainly from my side of things, it was like digging down into the script, like whose narrator is this? Hang on a minute, look at the naming part with all these underscores. I'm like, okay, so that's shadow box. Okay, I think that's awesome. So we ended up color coding and doing all sorts of fun stuff with the script so that I could follow a path now. Especially when you've got like multiple choices, it can be just, your brain will explode if you try and comprehend it all. I did every single version of the final scene of that game, one after the other, in a single 3-hour recording session. Just everyone's multiple endings. I felt like I was having a breakdown by the end of it. So yeah, you need like technical tricks to do that and color coding scripts.
So during the session, did you actually have like chunks of time devoted to each character that you were doing?
No, I didn't know when they began and then we just flipped. Followed it down the line of the script. Whatever needed doing. Get good at hopping. What that is, but that's me hopping.
Thank you. Right, we have time for 2 short questions. So, last but one, take it away.
Alright, hello.
Hi.
I have a question specifically for Amelia. You are definitely the favorite voice in Ghent. However, who do we need to, I don't know, bribe or pray to or threaten for Larian to cast you as a romantical character in Divinity 2?
I don't know, Sven, who do you need to bribe? Because I will fight them. Yeah, it's become a bit of a running joke, isn't it? That Larian cast me as the woman you can't progress the plot without, but you definitely can't sleep with. It's feeling like a read at this point.
It feels vindictive. That there's an actual vendetta against
Yeah, they just don't want to sleep with me.
It's a personal slight.
I would love to play a romantic character for sure. Like, it's time. I would love that.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I happen to narrate all your sleeping with people, though. That's weirder. That's like being in the chair in the corner of the room. Like, have fun.
That chair.
That chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, final question.
Hello.
Hi.
First of all, Amelia, I loved your performance as Hecate so much in Hades. I was always excited to go
amazing, by the way.
Took a long time. I have the same question for both of you, but different games. Amelia, do you see yourself in Hecate in some ways?
I wish I had an ego that big. When I was offered the chance to audition for that, it blew my mind because I've got weirdly gothic vibes. In case you haven't noticed, I'm kind of like baby witch, nothing to that degree. So what made me very excited about that is that there was a lot of depth to her. I wouldn't say that we're hugely similar in a lot of ways, but certainly like the maternal side of her I could relate to, because I've always felt very protective of my friends. I have no desire to ever be a mother, but I have a very motherly vibe towards the people I care about. So I think that I could definitely relate to that, like wanting to help somebody be better, be their best self. The realization that that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to have made them. I can just be good support.
Yes, technically, Melanie also isn't.
La 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 la.
So, I mean, my mom, Melanie, there.
Oh,
Okay, so, and for you in Baldur's Gate, your character, do you relate to him in some ways?
Yeah, I remember his description in the when we were asked to audition. His moral convictions are he's kind to the kind and unkind to the unkind, which I've got to say is very me, which is nice. And he was also described as being a rugby-playing Oxbridge scholar, and with that it kind of gives the impression that it's going to be quite RP, received pronunciation, or quite posh. But I had to put a little bit of me in, don't. I had to put a bit of northernness in there, so he's not fully RP. I've got a bit of the north in there to ground him a little as well. So yeah, there's quite a bit of me in there.
I will definitely be playing Baldur's Gate 3 now. I'm fully convinced. Do you have any recommendations on how I should play it? Like the the darker version? Which one do you
If there's nothing that you can decide on, roll for it.
Okay.
Let fate decide.
And that's really all we have time for. So give it up for Amelia and Dave!